Hello, I'm Brian Fazio, Newton County's Public Information Officer, and welcome back to another edition of Do You Know Newton? This is a chance for us to sit down and talk with some of the people who make things happen here in Newton County government. Each week we try to talk with a different department just to give you all a little insight on what we do here, why we do it, and how we do it. This week I have a very special guest. I'm excited for Mr. James Brown, Director of Water Resources, to join us. James, hey, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll start off. I mean, I know who James Brown is real well. All of us employees know James, but how did you get to be Water Resources Director, and what do you do here?
I'm like you said, I'm Water Resource Director. I've been here in Newton County for almost 17 years. I started off as the Assistant Plant Manager and just worked my way up. I've been in water treatment for about 27 years now.
Really? Okay. What got you into water treatment?
Just the ability to make a difference in the community. So just to have a background in science and mathematics, and just really care about just the overall what the community does and how best well we can serve the community.
Yeah, and I've been over to Cornish Creek Treatment Facility a number of times. It's cool because you do a lot of chemistry, a lot of environmental stuff. I mean, it's a mixture of a lot of things. Tell us a little bit about what goes on over there and talk about a little bit of that cool stuff.
Sure, yeah. So water treatment is a science. There's a lot of math and just a lot of different things. So that the operators that does on a daily basis. So one of the things that we do on a daily basis is we do a tremendous amount of testing. The staff that's over there is tremendous. They do a lot of great things. The plant's open 24/7, 365. One of our favorite sayings is we're open more than Waffle House. So, on the holidays, everything, they're constantly working, making sure that the water that we treat is the best quality, hence some of the things that they've won over the years. It's just a testament of what their dedication is.
Yeah, we should start with that. Plant Operators of the Year, multiple best tasting water in Georgia. One of the best tasting waters in the country. I know you placed high in that as well. There's so much to talk about over there with water and how important water is, but let's kind of start at the, beginning. Where do we get our water from and why is that important?
Sure. So what we get our water from, majority of it is from the Lake Varner Reservoir, which is fed by Alcova River it's supplemented. So it's a pump storage reservoir. So we take water out of the Alcova River and store it in Lake Varner.
Okay. And Lake Varner, hopefully everybody knows, but if not, it's on the northern side of the county, and that was built in the 90s?
Yeah, 1991.
So I think it was our first splash project.
Yep, sure
the first splash project was Lake Varner. Before that, the city was William Street, correct? Or
yes.
City Pond?
Yeah, so City Pond right there by the airport, that's where the original water treatment plant and facilities is located. Once the county grew to a certain size, we expanded to Lake Varner.
Yeah.
So
and that's where
that's
most all the water, if not all, because we're still working on that, but City Pond eventually is going to be decommissioned.
Yeah, that's the plan. It's kind of reached of its end of useful life. So we're planning on decommissioning and the William Street Reservoir, the William Street plant and the City Pond Reservoir.
Yeah, but Lake Varner is going well, going strong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you get water comes from the Alcova River, you pump it into Lake Varner and store it there.
Yep.
And then you guys take over. So what type of treatments do you do, and what's how long does the process take? And
so the process that we have is upflow clarification process. So the time frame that goes from that process is
let's pretend like we're not scientists.
Okay, all right.
Upflow.
Upflow clarification. So basic water treatment, you want to take a small particle, make it big, and let gravity's free, so you let it settle down. Well, the only part about that, it takes a huge footprint in order for that process to take place. So where Lake Varner is and where the Cornish Creek facility is, there's not a lot of real estate that's right there. So we want to shrink the size. So they came up with a technology to where, hey, we can shrink the size to about a third of the normal treatment plant process, But instead of settling, we're going to make it to where it's a blanket to actually help treat the additional water that passed through. So the chemical process that we do is they have a blanket to where we keep a cohesion. So just imagine a 6 to 8 foot blanket that water's passing from the bottom to the top. Mm-hmm. So as it passes through, those particles has a charge, and we create a negative charge. So you have a positive and negative charge. They attract together, so they combine and make it have that cohesion. They bounce back and forth. So as the water's passing through, the particle has a positive charge, the blanket has a negative charge. Boom, it gets captured. Clean water come out the top.
There you go. And then you take that clean water, and what do you do?
When we do, at that point, we send it through filtration. And then we add in our post chemicals. We store it for a little while for our contact time for additional components. And then we pump it out to the distribution system to the customer's homes.
Okay. Now, when people hear, and myself included, hear chemicals, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But everything is safe.
Oh, yes.
EPA and EPD and all the EPs regulate your industry pretty well.
Oh,
so,
yes.
What are some of those safety mechanisms? And
so we have MCLs, which is maximum contaminant levels of all the chemicals, even things that's not even been treated yet. So we have a laundry list of things that we have to go down through. So we have chlorine, fluoride, lime, phosphate. So those chemicals are added in as small versus the volume of water that we're actually treating. They're pounds per million gallons of water.
And those are all mandated, you said?
Yes, they are mandated. So each one have different components for different aspects of the distribution system. So it's distribution health. They want to make sure that the water is safe to drink from long distances that it's traveling through. So each individual thing is put in there for a specific purpose.
And those chemicals, I'd assume, are a lot safer than if I just go to the Yellow or Alcovy River and take a cup.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I think I
want
want
to
do that.
that. That's why we're glad we have you and your team. And it's amazing, too. I know you said your team works 24 hours a day, 365. There's always someone monitoring the water, but then there's always someone monitoring
The monitor.
Because, it's a security risk as well. You don't want anything to get in the water.
Oh, yes.
So appreciate all that you do. And before we get off the chemicals, I know a big topic has been PFAS, the forever chemicals.
Yes.
How much forever chemicals PFAS is being distributed, is leaving the plant and being distributed to your end users?
So what happens is that, let me go back a little bit if you don't mind.
No.
So the EPA mandated that all systems across the country, that's UCMR5, have to do testing from the raw water source, the plant source, and distribution source. So yes, we did pop with a low number of PFAS in the William Street train. So that's coming
we already said it was going to be decommissioned.
Right.
Yeah.
So that whole process has been decommissioned once we found out that it did have some levels of PFAS in that particular train. Now we've been testing the Cornish Creek and the Lake Varner train as well, and we haven't had any. So one of our processes, they say, hey, okay, do we really need this facility because of the low water usage that's coming out of that facility? So let's put it in perspective, okay? So the first quarter of this year, the Cornish Creek train treated 1.1 billion gallons of water. That's a lot of water. So, but the William Street train only treated 3.5 million. So in essence, 99.7% of the water that was treated came from the Cornish Creek plant versus 0.3% came from the William Street facility. That was intentional because we did not want to put any water that was going to have PFAS in it.
Yeah, naturally.
So to answer your question, when we have 3 sites that, going back to EPA, that we have to test. So those are actually in the distribution system. All those tests came back with the zero.
Zero. That still means none.
That means
okay. So good. So people can kind of rest. They can definitely rest easy.
Yes, rest easy.
Distribution's zero. Okay. So that being said, once we reach that distribution system, get a lot of questions or a lot of confusion. Water resources, water sewage authority, different entities.
Yep, completely
You
different.
are water
entities.
resources.
Yes.
You work for the county. You treat and get the water ready for distribution.
Correct.
Water Resources, not you or any of your staff. Great team they have over there at Water Resources, see, even I did. at the Water Authority, they are a wholesaler, is that
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes. So what we do, but we're a wholesaler.
You're a wholesaler.
Yeah, so we're a wholesaler. So Newton County Water Resources, they treat all the water for Newton County, Walton County, and Jasper County. So all we do is treat the water and send them to those municipalities and entities for them to distribute it to their customers.
Okay. So who do you sell it again to?
So we sell it to the Newton County Water and Sewage Authority.
Okay.
Porterdale, City of Porterdale, New Bern, City of New Bern, Mansfield, Oxford, the City of Covington. Then we also sell to Walton County, Jasper County, and Alcova Shores.
Oh, okay. And then
And City of Oxford, can't forget about the City of Oxford.
and again, that's what Newton County Water Resources does, and Water and Sewage Authority, then they sell it to their customers.
Correct.
And also they handle I call it the back end
Yeah.
of the water,
Yeah.
the sewerage aspect. Okay. Well, that's great. And I know, that it's grown over time, as you said, from William Street to Lake Varner, and then you do different technologies to keep up with demand. Demand seems to be growing. We have
Yes.
industry coming in, we have houses coming in. What are you all doing? I know you have a lot of plates spinning. What are you all doing to meet that demand going forward?
Oh man. So what happens is that collectively, as a group, we sit down at the table and see what industries that's coming in, and we make a plan, a long-term plan. So recently we completed a 1.5-year project of getting the county to 2050. So our plan is for water usage and sewer usage for now to 2050. Well, as soon as we finished that plan, we had a big industry come in. So we got the plan, we put a seal on it, the new company was announced, we took it, threw it in the trash because now it's completely outdated. So we thought to say, okay, well, we got that, let's start the process over. So we're almost finished with the 2070 plan.
Okay, so and I know you had a public meeting not too long ago and things like that. So you are currently planning to make sure Newton County residents, businesses, industry, we're good with water until 2070.
2070.
As your counterpart, Mike Hopkins said, they're not making any new water.
Nope. No. We are
So he
not.
always calls it dinosaur pee-pee. But I regress a little bit. So to 2070, we're in the process of making sure we're good. How do you, obviously, it's 50 years from now. 50 years ago, Newton County was way different.
Yep. Yes,
So
sir.
how do you plan for, let's say, I don't know, well, we do have a jet. I was going to say jet car because that's always in the future, but
Yeah.
we have a Jetsons kind of situation
Yeah.
with Archer coming. How do you plan if, jet car industry here in 2048 or?
All we can do is just take some of the knowledge that we have and project it out. So what we want to do, the first thing is you have to do population projections. So the first thing is say, well, how many people are going to live here? Well, I don't know. I'm like, you think about the last, couple of decades, it has grown exponentially over the years. So if we can extrapolate that all the way out and add in a couple of little nuances, what ifs, then we can kind of get a story to tell on how much water we can potentially need through the future. So, that's kind of how when you say you want to see the sausage, you just want the sausage, you want to see how it's made. That's kind of how it is. We see all this data and we have to crunch it into some numbers to see, hey, we're going to use X amount of gallons per day in the next 10 years and then extrapolate that out with a percentage and some safety factors that's in there as well to kind of give us a number to what we will be. And then once you have that number, well, what do your current capacity looks like? How efficient can you be with the current storage that you have? And then what other options do you have on down the line?
Yeah, and having been over there and knowing, what you do, it seems like you're always trying to see what other options there are and what we can do going forward. Flexibility.
Yeah,
I guess,
that's it.
is the
Got to
key.
be very
Flexibility on the process, and I know you do not work in a silo.
No, we do not.
So you're always working with Mike. Like how often you talk with Water and Sewage Authority,
Yeah.
Economic Development,
Oh yeah.
our planning team.
We talk to everybody on a monthly basis. So we communicate, we talk, we plan. We project. I'm like, anything that you can possibly think of, we're really trying to do it.
Yeah.
Leave no stone unturned.
I mean, that makes me feel better because, like you said, water. We're not getting any new water.
No such thing as new water.
No such thing as new water, and we want to protect what we have.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we're in a good spot too, right? We're as far as the watershed with the Ocmulgee Basin. Is that
Yeah,
where
we're in the Ocmulgee Basin.
Is there anybody above us sending us?
We had not really.
Okay.
So we're outside the Metro Atlanta district, but we're in the Ocmulgee region, which is we have one of the most protected watersheds in the southeast. So we want to continue to keep that prestige.
Is that
as
why
much as we can.
best tasting water in Georgia?
That's right.
How many years have we been?
We had it 4 years. Both of them, the People Choice and the Best Tasting Water. Both times we're the only municipality that won that did the sweep in two different years.
Yeah, that's great. Causes me a little issue sometimes because our dog will only drink your water.
That's
like
right.
Especially if we go to Florida.
Dogs like
Florida.
good taste.
Yeah. If we go to Florida, she's a bit of a princess. If we go to Florida, she won't drink the water. So we have to bring bottles.
There you go. Newton
County water.
That's right.
So I thank you. Your dogs across Newton County probably thank you for all your hard work and your team. And just keep it up, and we'll keep monitoring. And as those changes come between now and 2070, I don't know if we'll be here.
I won't be here.
But we'll let you all know about the changes between now and 2070. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Hope people learn some things about our most important resource, our water here in Newton County.
Yeah.